What's up guys, it's Jay with Bearded Dad Fishing, and if you're thinking about putting a motor on your kayak, then this video is for you. We're talking about the different types of kayak motors, the pros and cons of each, and why one might be better for you than another. But first, dad joke of the day, what do you call a fish with no eyes? A fish. And that dad joke is brought to us by Michael Crespo of the Facebook group Kayak Fishing Dads. If you're not part of the group, head on over there and join the conversation. So first of all, let's answer the question, why do we even want a motor on our kayak? Couple good reasons. First one being it cuts down on fatigue. You're able to fish longer, not harder. If you're covering big bodies of water, long distances, long rivers, then you don't want to be gassed by the time you get to where you're fishing. Second of all, you can fight the elements better. Whether it's wind or current, if you have a motor, you can adjust easier, again, without getting fatigued. The third benefit is it speeds up your travel time. When you're going from point A to point B, or you're going from fishing spot A to fishing spot B, you get there a lot faster and you're able to do things in between that typically you can't do when you're focusing on just paddling or pedaling. There's going to be a couple key factors to determine what type of motor you're going to get on your kayak. First of all, what type of bodies of water do you fish? Is it typically rivers, tidal areas, large lakes? That's going to determine what type of motor you want. Secondly, you have to consider your mounting capabilities. Not every kayak is built the same, and therefore not every mounting option is going to be equally viable on every kayak. And third of all, and possibly the most important, is what is your budget? All the options we're going to talk about vary on price points, and they cover a large area as far as dollars are concerned. In addition to that, you're going to have a couple other factors as well, like your weight capacity of your kayak. Can it handle the weight of the motor and the battery? Speaking about battery, what size battery do you need? Do you need a 12 volt, 24 volt, 36 volt? There's even 48 volt motors out there. And lastly, what type of tech integrations do you want? Do you need spot lock? Do you just want something high powered with high speed? Do you want something that integrates with your graphs? All those are things to think about that we're about to go over right now. So the first type of motor we're going to talk about is a bow mounted trolling motor. Here I have the Minn Kota Kayak Tarova. It came out in early 2025. It's fantastic for a lot of reasons, and some of the reasons you might want a bow mounted trolling motor is, first of all, that a lot of the models come with spot lock or some sort of variation of spot lock, which means it keeps you locked in place. As soon as you hit that anchor button, it anchors you in place within a couple of feet of where you hit that. So if you're fishing in wakes, if you're fishing in current, if you're fishing in high wind, it allows you to stay locked in place, making micro adjustments to keep you there, and you can pick apart a fishing spot with precision regardless of how much wind is pushing you around. In addition to that, another pro is that because it's in the front of the kayak, it's pulling the kayak, therefore giving you better tracking. If you're in a kayak that naturally doesn't have fantastic tracking, then it doesn't matter as much because it's pulling the kayak instead of pushing the kayak. And overall, it's great for anglers that love fishing big water or deep structure or fish in currents, again, because it has that spot lock feature. Some of the name brand options, of course, Minn Kota, not only do they have the Kayak Tarova, which is great because it's made already with kayak anglers in mind. It comes with the shorter shaft, so you don't have to cut the shaft. It comes where it's easily mountable to a kayak. But Minn Kota has other options available, of course, for boats with longer shafts that you can cut down the shaft, have an authorized dealer do it, and still get it on your kayak. Another great option is the Motor Guide Xi3. I believe those are discontinued, but there's a lot of used ones still on the market. It also has its own version of spot lock, and it's also made for a kayak with a shorter shaft and easily mountable. Yet other anglers are opting for Lowrance's options of trolling motors with their Ghost or Recon line of motors. Again, they're made for boats, so you would have to cut down the shaft so it doesn't sit so far in the water. But the bow mounted motor isn't without its downsides. The first downside is that this is typically a heavier setup. It's a little bit more cumbersome because of its size, and because it's heavier and it's going on the bow of your kayak, it tends to weigh down the bow, making you push water instead of cut through the water. It can also be pretty tricky to mount if you don't have a kayak that already has the mounting space for the bow. There are plenty of adapter mounts that you can buy from One Objective and from other third-party sellers. However, it's not available for every kayak brand, and it will require some DIY if it doesn't already come mountable or has a readily available mounting option. And the second of the three options we're going to talk about today is the stern mounted option. So right here I have the Newport NK180 Pro. And being that it's stern mounted, that simply means it's mounted on the back of the kayak. Some of the guys that opt for a stern mounted trolling motor are guys that fish either a lot of shallow water or a lot of river fishermen. And the reason is simple. These stern mounted trolling motors can typically run a lot more shallow than a bow mounted motor. So if you're fishing a river and you bump into, say, some timber or a rock or something shallow, it bumps right up and it minimizes the damage to the actual motor. Another benefit, in addition to running more shallow, is setup. It's a lot easier to run wires and set up your battery and everything with something like this because it's already close to your rear tank well where you're keeping your battery in a lot of cases. So as far as wiring is concerned, you don't have to typically run wires all through inside your kayak. You have this right here, you have your battery right here, you can just plug it right in. You do have to run your deployment ropes, but again, that's the easier part of the job versus having to run a whole lot of wiring. And the third benefit of running a stern mounted trolling motor is that they are typically faster as well. This is a 24 volt motor, but they have 36 volts as well. And typically you just get a lot of oomph with these. And if you're just worried about running from spot to spot, these will get you there a whole lot faster. And when it comes to brand options, of course you have Newport with the NK180 Pro. They also have the NK300, which is their heavier duty 36 volt option. Another option is the Torqeedo Ultralight. It's also fast, it's powerful, and it's really popular with river fishermen as well. And the last and newest option is the Garmin Force Current. A lot of people are talking about it because it comes in at a really high price point. However, it comes with its own version of spot lock and GPS anchoring, allowing you to still lock in place. However, you don't need a bow mounted trolling motor. You can do it right on the stern. It also has wireless foot pedals, which a lot of people are raving about. And the third and final option we're going to discuss when it comes to motorizing your kayak is the ePDL option. Now, it is limited to only Old Town kayaks. There's certain kayaks from Old Town that come with it, but now Old Town is offering the retrofit kits, which means you can buy just the ePDL drive and plug it into any of their pedal drive kayaks. One of the biggest benefits of the ePDL is that it is ready out of the box. That means you can buy this, plug it in, and connect the battery, and there you go. You could just open the box at the side of the lake, put it into your kayak, and you can go immediately. With the bow mounted motor or the stern mounted motor, that takes longer. You have to rig it, you have to wire it, you have to do your pulleys and all that stuff. With this, you just plug and play. So if you want a plug and play option, this is something you might want to look at. Another plus side is that it allows you to pedal when you want to pedal and motor when you want to motor. It has 3 settings where you could fully manually pedal it, 100% human powered. It also has the hybrid option where you pedal it and it gives you a little bit of motorized boost, or you could do the full-on cruise control mode where you just hit it and it goes and you don't have to pedal it. Some people feel more comfortable with this because if the battery dies when they're out on the water, they still have a way to easily get back to the launch by pedaling their kayaks. As far as the downsides of the ePDL option, it's only available on an Old Town. So if you don't have an Old Town kayak or you don't want an Old Town kayak, then this option is not readily available for you. Some people also complain about the price points. The retrofit kits come in at around $2,500, but being that it's ready out of the box, there's no rigging needed, some people can easily justify that. And lastly, it can't go as shallow as a stern mounted trolling motor, and it doesn't come with features such as spot lock to lock you in place. So let me know in the comments below which option you guys prefer, bow mounted, stern mounted, or ePDL. And if you thought this video was helpful, subscribe to the channel and check out this video right here. So till next time guys, peace and God bless.